Okay, today we're going to do a little review on several fire making kits. For starters, we have the Bear Gryles line fire starter. Nifty little self-contained kit right here. Watertight, flint, steel. And this one has a compartment where you can keep your tinder dry. And we always at least have, in this case, 2 cotton balls, 2 fires you can start no problem. And because it is a watertight compartment, they will stay dry and you don't have to worry about, finding at least some dry tinder to light. Okay, one of the things I gotta say about the Bear Gryles kit is I'm not very crazy about the striker itself. I've come to notice that if you press down with the thumb of the hand that's holding the bar and rotate the striker as you pull the bar back, you get a good spark. But if you're just doing this little number, no, you have a little more trouble doing that. That's the only thing I've really had an issue with the Bear Gryles fire maker. Now, as far as personal preference, I did take all the accessories that came with it, the little whistle and lanyard and all that. I took that off. I gave myself a nice little piece of 550 cord here that's about 3 times the length of the kit when it's closed. You see right here. Pull it down once. Basically 3 times. Okay. Alright. Now when you buy this, here's the packaging. Bear Gryles on the cover there. It has a little cord stop button thingamajig for securing the string that comes with it. And I mean that'd be something good to have for a jacket, hoodie, or something other. So I'm gonna save that for jacket, hoodie, or something other. Okay, now that was actually on this little string right here, which is essentially to me not much stronger than it looks like a shoelace, which at the end had to connect the cord together had a little whistle, good whistle. But I didn't really see any need to have it with my fire kit, so that's going to be probably a zipper pull. And as always with the Bear Gryles everything, you get the little priorities of life manual. Not bad little manual. I mean, it's something that it's not going to melt in the rain. Obviously, it is plastic. Got some little illustrations in here. It doesn't have detailed instructions of how to do all these different things, but it does have ideas for navigation, water collecting, trapping, knots, signaling, making a fire, making a shelter, just some basic stuff that you can get in any old Army manual. As a matter of fact, that's where I actually saw most of this stuff originally. Not bad. Doesn't hurt anything, doesn't take up much space. Throw it in a pocket somewhere. But I bought this at Academy Sports for, like I said, $15. And I think it's well worth the money. I've lit quite a few fires with it so far already. As you can see, all the black is, I don't know if you can actually see that, but the black is gone pretty much all the way around it, where I have definitely used it. But for 15 bucks, I do believe you're definitely getting your money's worth. Can't complain. I just would like to see them eventually put a little bit better striker in it, so they would grip the bar a little better. And simply to, since I don't have the original cord on there anymore, I just simply tie a little square knot and that holds it. At the end of each one of these 550 cord tips, I found that if you melt the 550 cord to the point where it's actually on fire and then just kind of rotate it, the material makes a nice little button and it allows you to keep it on the tool where it won't actually slide all the way through the hole. And that's the Bear Gryles. Okay. Another kit that was, well, I've heard a lot of good things about, and I got a lot of good things to say about it too. I did the same thing on this one. It came with a another little kind of subpar, I guess you'd say, cord, like a shoestring to me. The Strike Force. Now, I had seen on the Academy website where the paper actually did say includes one wet fire. Now, they may actually have a model that does include a wet fire, but when I bought this, I was assuming that there would be one in it. But if you pay very close attention to where my finger is, you'll see it says there's not a wet fire included. So it's not like they're trying to slip one past you. It's just, you know, look at your packaging before you buy something if it's that important. But needless to say, I'm still happy with it regardless. I put my own little tying system right here, and I did buy some wet fire prior to buying this, so I just went ahead and stuck one in there. And this is actually a really good fire starter. I mean, it's got a huge rod right there. That's about one of the biggest flints I think I've ever seen personally myself. And the striker itself is some kind of, I don't know what kind of steel that is, but it grabs the rod very easily. I mean, you don't even have to put any hardly quick force to it. It's just boom, shower sparks. And as always, of course, hold the bar steady and pull the rod back. That way your sparks go in one spot and not, you know, you're not trying to launch sparks over onto your fire. You're trying to put it in one place. The one complaint I do have about this thing, it's not really a complaint, it's just a I wish it was kind of scenario. And that is, I've been under the impression that this thing was basically waterproof. I mean, yeah, sure, rain, you know, isn't going to be a huge factor if you got this in your pocket, but if you drop this thing in the water, you're definitely going to get water in this compartment where your tinder is kept. Now, if you're using this, which is in a watertight, airtight little packaging, that's no big deal. But if you're using something like a secondary source, cotton balls and Vaseline or something like that, you definitely better make sure it's watertight, because as you're about to find out as I run the string, this is the slot for which the striker goes down off into this compartment. As you can see, it's just one solid hole. I was under the impression that this was a sealed compartment. A little disappointed, but aside from that, everything else is outstanding. But like I said, I mean, you do not have to use hardly any effort. One stroke and boom, you're fired good. I mean, it is a little bit more bulky than the Bear Gryles, but I mean, you know, you're kind of nitpicking if it's really that big of a problem for you. Stuff is back in there. I'll explain the wet fires here in a minute. They're kind of a nifty little thing, all on their own. Get this back in here. All right. Now, like I said, when I got this, it did come with this little string, little bead and everything. I don't remember how they had it tied off, but I'm just a little bit picky on how I like my gear secured. So, plain and simply, I just kind of wove it up through here a little bit. Like I said, with the little melted bead in that I made from rotating the 550 cord. Those basically hold it on there pretty good. I like it. I use it. Like I said, not really anything bad to say about it, but if you are expecting waterproof, you might not get waterproof. But you will definitely get a good spark, and that's what you get buy them for in the first place, to start the fire. All right, another one from the same company is this one right here called the Sparky. Now the Sparky is a one-handed little job. You simply press the two narrow ends. It even says push right there on the thing, right down there. It says push. I don't know if you can see there or not, but it does. You press those together, and with one finger you can press down. And if you're gripping at the same time you press down, boosh, sparks. One advantage this striker has over the other ones, the more traditional style, is you can actually stick it right up to the tender. If you got, let's say like I did with cotton balls the other day, but basically your cotton ball sitting right there, you can touch it to it, and with a little bit of effort, you can just pull it back, and boosh, it will ignite. Now I kind of tested this thing to see, you know, how this, that, and the other works. And I found that when you get this thing completely wet, as in, like, let's say if you dropped it in the water, it's out of commission for a little while. It's going to have to dry back out. I don't know how far, because, I mean, I tried wiping off the bar and I was still having issues getting it to spark good. But once I dried it back out, you know, it was back in business. It was good to go. Like I said, one-handed operation in case, you know, this hand's hurt. Oh, you know, bam, bam, bam. You can start your fire with the other hand. And vice versa. This hand's gone, you know, you can do it with this hand, or if you have low dexterity, you can even push it against a hard surface and it'll strike that way. I'm not trying to engage the blade against the bar because I don't want to burn my little table here. Nifty little thing is the fact of you can actually close that one up like that. It's handy, and whenever you're ready to use it, press down, let go, good to go. This thing only goes for, I think it's like $7 at Walmart. I don't know if I said the price or not, but the Strike Force sells for right at $20 at Academy. Well worth the money. Next thing on the list is this little fire striker I found at Dick's Sporting Goods. They sell it for $6. Not bad. When I bought it, I originally bought it thinking, okay, I could use the rod only. Because as I bought it, it came with, well, just that part right there. The rod plus a little small handle. I added the 550 cord, about 5 feet of it, made like a little, kind of like how bracelets are made, but I made like a little keychain, zipper pull type thing. But this is what came with it. Another, once again, the shoestring cord, as I call it, and a striker that I never even tried it. It might work, but I just didn't have much faith in it by looking at it. But it even says on the packaging that you can use a knife, which is what I do. Plain and simply, use the old SOG here, and bam, like that. Put it right there over your fire, and you got fire. I mean, right over where your fire's to be, and you'll have fire. At that price, at $6 for a rod that's, I'm not exact. It's about the same size as the Bear Gryles fire rod, but it's a tad bit longer. Actually, quite a bit longer. I like it. Everyday carry, because everyday carry is also the pocket knife. One of the things I mentioned earlier is the wet fire tablets. Alright, now this is a pretty cool little thing. I don't know if you've seen it also on YouTube, where the one of the guys from the company, he has a bowl of water. He crumbles one of these up over top of the water and then lights the crumbles that are, of course, floating, and they burn. They do burn wet. I've dunked them, pulled them out, burned them. The only thing is if you're trying to use one of these bad boys right here, any of these fire flints, you're going to have to bust this thing up a little bit, because just trying to ignite the cube itself is not as easy. You just shave yourself a little bit off. It'll light. It burns for a pretty good little while too. Another cool thing is, you light this thing, it gets the your little bird nest, whatever. It gets actually burning. And if you can reach in there, well, let's just say it's your little bird nest, you know, it's all burning and everything. You reach off in there with your knife. You dig out that little cube after everything's starting to catch fire. Plain and simply, put it out, wrap it up, use it for later, and it will reignite over and over again. Can't no match do that. But all in all, I just want to make sure that everybody out there that doesn't really have a familiarity with these the new fire kits, I want to realize that yes, this is a good product. This is a good product. This is a good product, as is this. But every one of them has their own little quirks. I like to see a better striker. When it's wet, you're gonna have to wait for a while. Not 100% waterproof. This one, like I said, a striker, yeah, I'd like to see a better striker with it too. But for the price, I would have paid $2 more just for the rod. Have a good day.